I'm Johnny B, and welcome back to McKinney ISD Sports Talk. And we're talking about cross country, and we're concentrating on the North Bulldogs with cross country coach Jessica Richards. And coach, the first question I wanted to ask you, similar to what I've talked about before, is I had a friend today who said, I'm really not sure what cross country is. So want a little cross country 101. Like, first of all, what's the distance usually that you're running in a cross country run?
All the boys in high school run 5K. If you're a 5A or 6A, girls run 5K. If you're 1 through 4A, you run 2 miles.
Okay, so I see you go into these courses, the runners disappear. What kind of conditions are you running at? I mean, if you're going into a wooded course and it rains the night before, you've got to be able, I guess, to run through mud and a whole bunch of muck. Yeah,
I mean, some of the courses get pretty nasty if we have bad weather. I mean, whatever the course conditions are is what they have to run in. So if there's a low-lying area, it's going to be quite muddy. We double knot their shoes. We put tape around their shoes so they don't lose shoes in the middle of the race and things like that to kind of prevent. But you also have to be prepared for whatever weather. So when we start the season, it's 100+ temperature. When we end the season, it could be sleeting and snowing by the end of the season. So just kind of they have to be prepared for whatever the conditions are. We run a lot of flatter courses, just being in this part of Texas that maybe around campuses or on golf courses or things like that. But there's several that we try to run on that have a lot of hills, uphill, downhills, parts where they disappear for about a mile and have to do a lot of work by themselves, and it kind of works on them mentally, and then come back through the crowd. So,
if a freshman came up to you and said, Coach, I'm interested in doing cross-country running, what kind of qualities do you look for in a cross-country runner?
Number one quality is just hardworking. I know a lot of people think cross-country is, well, you're just running. But there's a lot of just mental toughness that goes with it. You've got to have a kid that's willing to do what they're supposed to do without you always looking, a kid that has high integrity. And they're going to go out and do their hour run even if it's not fun, because that's what they need to do to get better. So hardworking, high integrity standard, and then just one that has fun pushing themselves. And those are kind of the top aspects that I look for.
Talk a little bit about your season and your district season.
Season was great. Just kind of, your goal as a coach is to progress the team throughout every season that you're there. And we've seen a slow progression all the way through. Boys and girls both got second at district and advanced to regionals. So it was good to get both squads back there again. That's the third year in a row that we've been able to get both back. We had 4 girls in the top 10 at district and 2 in the top 10 on the varsity scale at district and the boys. So when we went to regionals, the girls were 5th overall, so we were one place away from making it to state as a team. So it was kind of a bummer, but on the same time, when you look at the big scale of things, just kind of where we have grown in the last 3 seasons, it's been pretty good. And then the boys were 8th overall, so again, same thing with them. 2 years ago, they were 14th. Last year, they were 11th, and now we're 8th. So they're progressing in the right direction, and then we've got more and more kids that are right on that cusp of qualifying individually as well.
So every class that's come in has kind of raised the bar on where you want that program to be as a coach.
They've done a great job of raising the bar. The coaching staff has done a pretty good job of raising the bar practice-wise, kind of what I'm asking of them each day, but they've risen to the occasion every time. And so just the longer you're with them and the more they kind of understand you and the program and then what they want for themselves and the team, they've responded great every time.
As you go forward, how many boys and girls do you lose from? How many seniors graduate this year that you'll have to replace?
Okay, I have 5 total seniors, 2 girls and 3 boys, and of those, 3 of them were on varsity. So I graduate 2 senior girls that were a very big part of the team, just vocally being leaders and just in and out of the daily activities that we do. And then I have 1 senior boy that graduated. So the good thing, while we're sad that they graduate and they will be greatly missed, we return a pretty youthful squad. I was able to get 5 freshmen on varsity, which is a pretty big deal for them. So I think going forward, we have a lot of potential, and just the more kids that we get into it and seeing the success that those kids have, hopefully it'll just kind of, recreate it every season. So.
Great season. Thank you for joining us on Sports Talk.
Yes, thank you.
It's great today. We learned a little bit about cross country. I hope we answered some questions for you and learned a little something about the North Bulldogs and also the Boyd Broncos. We'll be back next week on McKinney ISD Sports Talk.